In this part, we will see how the subcontracting management works with the NAVBUILD, what we call as labor management. It's basically managed through what we call as the work order, and the work order is for resources and purchase order is for materials, items. Okay. The work order also goes through a similar process of indenting, approvals, creation of RFQs, the request for quotation itself, the quotations which we received from the customer, and the comparison of quotations. Since this process is very similar to the material management flow which we have dealt with in the earlier video, we will directly go to the work order functionality. In a work order, the difference is that apart from purchase order where we have vendor details and all that, we also capture how the subcontractor is going to invoice us, whether it is going to be on a progressive basis or based on milestone basis. Okay, and whether the subcontractor work includes the scope as materials, which means they have to bring their own material, or it is excluded, which means we have to supply with the material. And similar to how we did the material planning based on the project plan, here also you can basically plan based on your project activities, and system will calculate the resources required for that particular activity. I have picked up an existing work order which has the billing type as progressive, and the important difference between a purchase order and work order is the milestone billing mechanism. Okay, so basically what happens here is, as in when we say it's a progressive billing, as in when the subcontractor does the work, maybe by the end of the week or end of fortnight or a month, the vendor and the shift engineer or the site engineer measures the work done and certifies it, and it goes through multiple checks and approvals, and the bill gets paid to the subcontractor by the finance department. Okay, the important step here is to capture the measurement of work done. So let me show how a particular measurement is done. I'm going to take it as B2 progress in this case. I cannot specify a percentage here because the billing type is progressive, so I will have to go through the measurement book. So let me see the activities involved. So far there is a 15 quantity of work which is already done. Say I certify that there is a 2 CFT of earthwork which is done. So I say work done quantity, system updates it as 17. Let me see how my measurement book looks like. So for the work done quantity of 2, what is the cost and all that it shows, and I can say update milestone amount. The system has calculated that there is a 102 which needs to be paid, which is basically a 0.06% of the overall work order amount. I can specify a certain amount to be deducted against advance. I can specify the retention percentage, administrative charges, consumable percentage, other could be in value, say 25, so on, and it goes through multiple checks and approvals as I mentioned earlier. Again, being a super user, I am able to do all the approvals myself. I can actually print what is called as a subcontractor bill, which means on their behalf we are actually printing the bill for them, and it shows the various deductions and all that. And you can see the annexure, which basically gives the actual lines of work done or the resources which are utilized, again based on a cumulative format such as up to last bill how much has been paid, what are we authorizing in this bill, and what is the totals so far. Okay, and for this work order, now I am ready to create the purchase invoice. Since all the approvals are made, so purchase order has been created. Let me go into financial management, payables, purchase invoice, go to the last. As you can see here that 102 with the retention which is shown negative is booked here. So the net amount of 102 minus 7 will be paid to this particular vendor after posting the invoice. This is general finance, so I'm not actually going to the process of posting the invoice and making the payment at this point. Okay, so that's how a progressive billing work order is managed. In terms of a milestone, the billing is simpler. The milestone basically means that we just specify the percentage of amount to be paid and system will release the invoice for that. For example, I'm just creating a new line. I'm just saying stage 3 completed, which is due for a 25% milestone, 25% of the payment to be made. So I just specify directly the percentage. Again, the deductions of retention and administrative charges and all that can be specified. And again, multiple approvals. Select and create the purchase invoice. All other processes are same, except in a milestone we get to specify the milestone percentage. I talked about the importance of tying a work order number to a material issue, and this is the importance here. What you could do is run this report before certifying any work order payment, so that system shows that for this work order the subcontractor has used or drawn so much material from our stores. Now you can compare this against the project plan and say, for this activity is really so many bags of cement required? If not, that means the subcontractor has consumed more than what is necessary. Then you can decide on recovering certain portion of the payment. So that can be given in the other deduction which I showed in the milestone billing. So that is the importance of this work order wise material consumption report. With that, the subcontract management portion is complete. So in this process, I have shown that like material management, work order management also has indenting, approval, RFQ, quotation, and then creating the work order process, or you can directly create the work order against the project plan specifying the activities and their quantities. And within a work order, you can have both progressive as well as milestone billing. And for progressive, we need to create the measurement book, and for milestone we can directly specify the percentage or the value which is payable. So this completes the subcontract management portion of our demo.